Awesome to see all of you on here. I'll just do a quick intro for my voice so you know who's speaking right now. My name is Sophia. I am helping coordinate all of the residencies that we are putting together at Edge City in Patagonia, which is super exciting because, as you probably already know, Edge City is a month-long pop-up village in Patagonia. But this time around, what is different from all of the other events that that Edge has been doing is that we will have more residencies than we have ever hosted before. Namely, we have 15 at the moment and counting, which is super, super exciting. Most of them will be represented on this call here now. If there's follow-up or sort of one-on-one discussions with residencies later on, then that's something that you can look forward to as well on our X page. But for now, we're going to walk you through each residency that we will be hosting in a sort of like living lab of over 500 people from around the world who are coming together to build at this incredible frontier of technology, science, art, and society, and even beyond that as well, sort of pushing the boundaries between what is believed to be possible and what has been built so far. So that's my role within Edge. I think more exciting than that, and more importantly, is to walk you through all of the residencies that you can expect to see on the ground. We'll do kind of a demo day style situation, introing every single residency. And after that, I'm going to throw out a couple questions for everybody to go around and answer. And then we'll hop on to audience questions as well, if there's any. And yeah, super happy to keep this open and to just get everybody as engaged as possible and learning as much as possible, because and I'll say this very candidly, but from the planning side of putting together all of the residencies and supporting them as they're exploring all of the beautiful things that they can put together in Patagonia, I've seen that it's going to be an incredible experience. And so we want to make sure that we're communicating that as effectively as possible to everybody participating as well. But yeah, without further ado, I guess in that sense, then maybe we'll go around and start introing all the residencies. Let's try to keep it brief just so that everybody has a chance to dive into what they're hoping to build in Patagonia. So just a little who you are, what the residency is about, what you're excited to build, what folks can look forward to in terms of programming or resources that you're able to provide. And yeah, to that end, maybe we can kick this off with Agartha. Would love to hear from you guys and yeah, see what you've been working on.
I'm Nico. I'm here building Agartha with Jeremy. Our long-term goal is to make solarpunk into a reality. And the Agartha House is kind of the first long-term residency prototype of what it feels like to live in a solarpunk village. And we'll be talking a lot about solarpunk value and lunar punk values and getting a group of creatives to live together, help each other, support each other on the way, and just make some deep connections, see what happens. That's it. I can pass it to someone else. Or Jeremy,
Yeah,
do you
and
want to add?
yeah, I can throw in a little bit here. I think the vibe we're going for is this mix of art, creativity, technology, back to nature, and love. So, I think we're trying to go for a bit of a mix of different things. And ultimately, it's just really about creating this nice container for folks, the residents in the house, to pursue whatever major goal that they have. It could be creating a piece of art or engineering some app or working on a business. It's really up to them. And it's less about like kind of pressuring them to do it, but just kind of empowering them, giving what they need. So anyway, just to throw that out there.
That's
Thanks,
great.
Nico.
It's beautiful. Can I throw a question back at you guys? I'm super curious if you could walk us a little bit through what people can expect a day to look like when they come into your residency.
That's a great question. A lot of it kind of really echoes the Edge City values. So Edge City usually starts the day with a lot of movement exercises. So we will just join in on that or create our little mini version of that. So start your morning with meditation, yoga, working out, and then have deep work throughout the day. And we'll try to schedule at least one dinner every week, and if not more. We have like a shared cooking shared cooking program going on where we will get people to pair them together and have basically the people staying in the house cooking for each other the whole time. So that would be a really nice bonding activity. And then all the other stuff we kind of just expect for the programming to be emergent. So we're not really overly designing too much of that outside of the, start your day with working out, do deep work, have lunch, dinner with the house or your friends, and then end the day with something, some sort of like light activity, maybe hanging out with the house, hanging out with Edge City, doing some music jam here and there. But keeping it gentle, but also encouraging people to be healthy and also have the space to do deep work and also connect with each other. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah,
I love it. Daily rituals, workshops, collaborations. Jeremy, if you want to add to that, I'd also love to hear from you a little bit on the benevolent AI that is going to be living with you.
Yeah, great.
I'm sure people have questions about that.
Yeah, great call, Sophia. I'd say that is the house-wide experimenting that we're running. So we're partnered with Eden, and essentially we're trying to see if we can operate this collective AI intelligence agent. And I think we're going to explore a few different things here. We have no idea how it's going to play out, but so each resident, we're going to be building a bit of their own personal profile. So I'll be doing coaching sessions with every individual. We'll be getting a sense of what their goals are, what their values are, their principles, a bit of their archetypes, and we're going to be plugging it into this agent. And ideally, we would love that to be very privacy focused, where there's a sense of every individual has ownership over their data. We do want to explore if we could do some tokenized models around this, and if there's some economic models we can build so that people are actually rewarded for their contributions into these systems, which is a little bit not how, or it's not how it works at all in the industry. And yeah, I think it'd be have people interact and be guided throughout their journey in a very personalized way, and have this opportunity for matchmaking to take place between different residents or maybe people throughout Edge that want to participate too. So we'll see. I think it's a cool, fun experiment, and yeah, we have no idea how it's going to plan out.
Which is all part of the beauty of Edge as well. But I love it. Trusted mentor. It's objective, pushing sort of the boundaries of what one's experience of day-to-day life can look like. It's super awesome. Maybe we can hear from Argentina Onchain then, if you guys want to give us a little intro into what life can look like in your community.
Ori here. I'm one of the co-organizers of Argentina Onchain, where we will be diving into what real-world problems that individuals and institutions in Argentina face can be addressed with on-chain mechanisms and solutions. And so, unfortunately, two of my Argentinian co-hosts are not here at the moment, so I don't want to speak for everyone, but my lens is more from the perspective of mechanism design and considering like how on-chain mechanisms bump up against real world constraints. And then the other co-organizers are bringing different lenses. Like we have Millie from Crecimiento, Sofia Kosar from Blockchain Gov and Mechanism Institute, and then several other partners at Polkadot Blockchain Academy. I'm myself representing Ethereum Foundation's use case lab, and so we're bringing together these different kinds of lenses and then putting together a program that will really go through like perspectives of different projects that are trying to build for the real world, both in Argentina and beyond. So we have like a bunch of different crypto projects that are not your typical crypto projects that are building for other crypto projects, but that are actually building for like real users out there in the world, whether it's private sector, public sector, or third sector. And so the residency will take those perspectives. We're gonna run workshops. Anyone participating can, propose a workshop to run as well. And then in the second week, we're going to go into a design sprint, like where we are going to follow IDO's rapid prototyping methodology to workshop solutions to the problems identified in the first week. And so we actually have about a dozen Argentinian institutions, ranging from municipalities to universities to national government agencies, that we're partnering with on this, that are already submitting to us basically problem briefs of like pain points they have that they've tried to address or interested to address with smart contract driven systems, with on-chain systems. And so yeah, it's this kind of unique opportunity to have this convergence between um, the local kind of national environment that we're in, like people who deeply understand what's going on there, and then people who are, let's say, on the front lines of the crypto ecosystem, trying to like grow it out into real world domains, and then having the convergence of these with some structure so that we can actually learn something and then produce artifacts and interventions, prototypes that can then continue beyond the residency. And so just to close off, the residency is fairly intensive, I think, compared to maybe what's recommended for residencies. But yeah, it'll be over a shorter time frame. So just that last 2 weeks of Edge City, and really even within that, I think the first week is like 5 days of like talks and workshops, and the second week is a 4-day intensive design sprint. So people can join for any part of that. We're not requiring that it's like all or nothing, but yeah, we're gonna make sure that it's a good balance, right? So that people can come in and out, but then we also have like a core group that's really committed to like seeing it through to the end and producing something interesting together.
Yeah, incredible. And I mean, in terms of just like the timeline of it as well, I think if you're into, and I'm referring to listeners now, but if you're the sort of person who thinks of really good ideas as actually more of a sprint than a marathon, and you want to lock in really hard over a very well-defined period of time, then Argentina Onchain might also just be the residency that speaks more to you in that sense, given the design sprint and all of the other workshops that you can expect. I don't know if you want to maybe throw out a little spoiler in terms of like mentorship for the design sprint and what you're thinking there. Or if not, we can keep that a secret for folks, but there's exciting stuff going on.
Sure, I can just briefly drop some names, I guess, or organizations. So we have, like, from the Argentinian side, like I mentioned, Crecimiento, and also Seed LATAM. So they'll have kind of some of their leading members there to give talks and then like participate and mentor in the workshops. And then we have Andre from Deep Work, and also Ian from Syndicate, who used to be at IDEO, who are going to help with the design sprint and rapid prototyping, because they have kind of this lens on how to do that really effectively. Um, and then, on the kind of crypto on-chain side, we have Ethereum Foundation, Polkadot, and at like the network level, and Syndicate, and a bunch of projects that are building the actual use cases, across use cases like e-voting and kind of digital democracy, and then commerce, like on-chain commerce, uh, governance, as well as many other use cases. So that's all I'll say for now.
Maybe we can move now a little bit into talking about inner technologies and switch over to the meditation artifacts residency. Luca, I don't know if you maybe want to share a few things there. I know you've been planning a ton of really, really incredible programming, so would love to give you the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. I'm Luca Del Deo. I'm the founder of an organization, Meditation Artifacts, and I'm co-organizing this with one of my co-founders, Charlotte McAdams, who couldn't join us today. A little intro to my work. So generally, it's been cognitive science of religion, but really focusing on meditation and how understanding it from these different kind of, you could think of it as cultural perspectives, can enhance how we approach meditation in the innovation world, as well as research and education domains. So the Meditation Artifacts Residence is combining all of that. We're building a space where every day people have multiple opportunities to meditate with techniques donated by different meditation centers or led by one of our teachers in residence, who right now we have Lindsay Sandwald from Brooklyn, New York, who's coming down with really a really incredible combination of kind of yoga meditation practices, as well as some really interesting Christian mystical practices. And then we may also have a teacher coming in from Brazil who teaches, I think, primarily Buddhist meditation there. And we'll be able to explore all sorts of other practices from secular schools and startups who are donating their time and their resources to help us to learn more about meditation more broadly. And then the overall program is kind of, I mean, there's parts of it that are really focused on helping people to build out cool projects like art or design projects. Uh, and then there's also hopefully going to be a pretty big interest in building cool technology related to meditation, using some of the VR headsets and things like that offered by our partners. It's just generally, I don't know how I can express it other than just tons of different stuff related to meditation and then bringing that into your life, either in a personal way or a professional way.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, by the way, also just to add this quick note, and this applies to all the residencies, but if you guys are listening to this and you're like, hell yeah, I'd love to be there, you can. So you can go to our website, and every single residency has their own sign up page. So you can find all the links there in a centralized fashion. But yes, with that being said, maybe we can hop on over now to human tech and to hear a little bit about what you guys are building as well within your residency.
So yeah, so my name is Shadi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Holonym. We're building out this framework called human.tech, right? So the idea here is we started off as a zero knowledge identity protocol, and we pivoted hard into building the basically like software infrastructure stack for future societies. So this idea, like, what do we need to grant? What are the minimal viable digital tools that we need to grant to net citizens so that they can venture forth and invent the future with full sovereignty, maintaining cypherpunk values? At the core of our, I guess, philosophy, we kind of like took a step back from being like, you know, builders in Web3 building stuff for the fun of it and seeing what happens, to starting off with a philosophically grounded approach first. And that philosophy is really much influenced by, of course, like folks like Vitalik Buterin, the DEAC movements, this idea of like engineering and prioritizing technology that minimizes existential risk for society by taking kind of like embracing accelerationism, but towards those technologies that are defensive or lead to differential outcomes. Also take lots of inspiration from folks like Pooja, thinking a lot about how these systems can really both introduce new risks in how society operates at large in a global hyperconnected society to also like some of the incredible benefits. So core to this is something called the Covenant of Humanistic Tech. It's something that we're going to center the residency around. It's a set of 10 principles that we've created with a community of academics, engineers, researchers, activists, filmmakers, artists, etc. And so there's about 10 principles that we've come up with. These are actively iterating. They're very mutable. Everything from universal personhood to digital systems, all the way down to privacy, self-custody, voluntary accountability, et cetera, all these things. So the residency, what's going on? How's it? What's going to happen? So it's a 10-day, what we're calling a 10-day immersive experience from November 5th to the 15th. The idea here is that we're going to incubate interdisciplinary collaboration around tech, culture, and human rights, specifically within the DEAC umbrella. We're going to be partnering, or we are partnering with Luxo, specifically their Universal Profiles team, to think a lot about how can we achieve social coordination using, for example, the ERC standard, I think 725Y, that was created by Fabian Luxo, or Fabian Vogelsteller from Luxo, who's also the creator of the ERC20 standards. We're really excited about bringing a lot of this coordination, human coordination tech to not just, to beyond the Luxo community. And yeah, so in terms of how things are going to be like program and how we're going about it, the main takeaways are there's a couple different pillars that we're focusing on. So we'll have folks that are working on BCI neurotech with live demos. This will be a focus on building self-custodial keys with privacy using biometrics. So like keys that can't be taken away from you because they're tied to you, but still maintain privacy and security. We'll also be focusing on the DeSci space. That's kind of my background. I helped start the DeSci movement a couple of years ago. We'll have a focus on civic tech. So how do we take crypto and then build better civic institutions, or upgrade existing civic institutions? We'll also have other areas that touch like fintech and AI as well. So we have, I think in our house, we have like up to 32 folks that'll be in the residency. We have a whole hotel. We have a ton of programming. It's like a mixture of low key and rigorous. So we'll have world-class cryptographers and we'll invite people to come and hang out and ask questions and learn about cryptography and product developments and CK and wallet security and key security and all that stuff, as well as like, you know, the neurotech experts and hardware experts. We're really going to encourage people to come in every day, be very thoughtful. We'll have like morning journaling sessions followed by kind of breakout open sessions where you can go and do whatever you want, come back for lunch, and then over lunch, there'll be a presentation with deep work and workshops after that within those 5 pillars. Yeah, we're also partnering with Win Privacy. If you guys know them, they're incredible. It's a women-led organization, really leading in the privacy space, really advocating for privacy in multiple ways. And they're going to be putting together a documentary of what's happening here because we do think it's a really important moment, right? Like it's the future of society at the edge. This is where we're building the most resilient future systems for what comes after. Um, and the big thing, Angelica will never forgive me if I don't also mention it. We're also collecting artifacts and contributions to the covenant, which is this evergreen, ever evolving, super mutable artifact, mutable system of artifacts. And then we'll also be offering grants to projects that are submitted in response to some of the specific prompts for the projects that we'll be building within the space. So we're looking for folks that want to create, that want to be surrounded by deeply trained individuals within cryptography, neuroscience, civic tech, governance, political science, etc., that want to generate outputs and looking for community to help co-inspire each other. We will have room and space for relaxation and hanging out and stuff, but definitely, bring your building hats because we're really excited to work deeply and share our most valuable asset, which is our time, with each other to really co-create the future.
Incredible. Thank you for that awesome presentation. I also just want to say that I really, really love the model that you guys have created, especially in terms of just being able to have some immediate, reward and immediate support for projects that are doing super well within the residency. And I think it's really awesome that you were able to mention that as well in your blurb just now. But yeah, more details on this are available on the Human Tech Luma page, which is linked on our website as well. So if you guys want to learn more about the token awards, you can head over there, and we can move on to hear a little bit about the vibecoding residency as well. Jack, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, I'm co-hosting the vibecode residency, which is going to be for the full month, and doing it with Mariella. I don't know if she'll be able to hop on this call, but yeah, it's really cool to hear everyone else's ideas behind the residencies, and I'm really excited about also the cross-pollination between the different ones, because I think it all weaves together, and that's one of my favorite parts about Edge City. So basically with the vibecode residency, we're going to be dedicating 1 month for building at the speed of intuition. And the idea, I've been vibe coding for about a year now. I've been basically building apps for 3 or 4 years, and this whole new wave of building is really exciting. And the idea is we can just we're going to be doing a lot of the similar stuff with the other residencies when it comes to daily morning workouts and all that good stuff. And we want to segue that into kind of daily co-working sessions where we're sharing the best tools, from Cursor to Lovable to Claude Code, and basically just all these tools, just making it really accessible and easy for anyone to build projects. And yeah, we're also really excited. There's a bunch of kids that we hope to collaborate with down there, and I'm really excited about this idea of vibe gaming, which is we can create games in real time and kind of create an open source, almost like Edge City arcade of all these different games, and and kind of just exploring. There's many different aspects to it, but I'm just really excited for it. And I think it's going to be really fun. So it's nice we're doing this.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. Nadella, I would love for you to give another try at unmuting, but
Yeah, so I'll just piggyback on some of the things that Jack was saying. I think we're in this really incredible moment in time, and what we can build today will be completely different than what we potentially can build next year at the same time. So we're really excited to kind of like put our mark in the sand for like this time capsule in this moment, and really. My personal goal is there's the Mariella that's like before Patagonia, and then there's the Mariella afterwards. And so it's really around like dreaming and building vibrantly alongside one another. And like how deeply and like most expressed can I become? And I've already started to have like incredible synchronicities with some other people who are attending. I have a lot of horse riding goals. So just a lot of play and a lot of color. And also, Patagonia is so special. It's such an incredible place. We'll be there during a new moon, a full moon, and a meteor shower. And so the energy of the place, I think, is just going to be absolutely a magical container. Incredibly excited.
yeah, I think that's such a valuable point as well, that like all of these incredible residencies that in themselves are like a universe with so many different people and so many ideas and so much potential for learning and growing are also within this context of an ecosystem that in itself is also this like magical place where you can learn and grow and be nourished in so many different ways as well. And it'll be sort of the kind of environment within the village where one thing that you're working on, one conversation that you're having will be a break and rest from another thing. And so everything will kind of keep this beautiful balance and keep you growing. So thank you so much, Mariela, for making that point because it's super valuable. Madison, we'd love to hear from you on the consciousness residency.
Thank you, Sophia. This is so awesome. And there's so many residencies. So thank you for all the work you're doing. Yeah, so basically, I'm hosting Consciousness at the Edge, living experiments in sound, somatics, and altered states. And basically, the vision for this is to be the world's first month-long immersive lab for consciousness and healing experiments across sound, somatic, psychedelics, neuroscience, and like really other emerging tech that people are interested in. We have some crazy things happening. For example, like I think we're going to be having a telepathy experiment going on throughout the month, which is really interesting. So yeah, the thesis is that consciousness is basically the last major gap between biology and lived experience and is like really the next great frontier for healing and technology and longevity. And the thing is its depths remain really largely unexplored. So this is kind of like a V1 of just like really trying to see what happens when you get a bunch of different people multidisciplinary together to kind of explore what consciousness is because it's such a big word. So we have some really exciting programming. The third week, we're gonna be doing Psychedelic Week in collaboration with SciDAO, which is super exciting and kind of like the first of its kind at Edge, which is like I'm just personally really excited about. And weeks 1 and 2 are looking like they're going to be really centered around breath and sound. We have this incredible sound facilitator coming out. And yeah, so like the weekly kind of programming is going to be a lot of breath and sound. And what else? Yeah, so we have Psychedelic Week. We're going to be having a bunch of different interesting experiments. I mentioned telepathy experiment. We're probably going to be doing this interesting dating experiment to see if like people at Edge can be matched based on their brain waves and coherence, which is super interesting. And biometric capture after like breath and sound. So there's like, it's kind of a mix of like the woo woo and science. And that's something I'm personally really excited about. There'll probably be like some evening sound journeys, which everyone at Edge will hopefully come to. And we have some cool events we're starting to work out. I think in collaboration with Vibecoding, we're doing like a meteor shower party on October 21st for the new moon, which is super fun. And I think that will probably be like a sound bath that turns into a party. And we might actually do a full moon one too, which will be awesome. And yeah, well, we should have some cool talks. We have kind of the philosophy side of consciousness. We have Michael Edward Johnson coming to kind of do office hours and like salons on vasocomputation and symmetry theory of valence, amongst other things. We're going to have a bunch of psychedelic talks about like psychedelic safety and culture. I think they're going to be putting on an art show too. There are some people interested in mapping synchronicity, some astrology and human design stuff, as well as like remote viewing. So there's just like stuff across a bunch of disciplines. And yeah, it should be really awesome. It's kind of one of the first of its kind, so it's just going to be an experiment, but really excited to get kind of the whole Edge community involved during the month. And if you're listening now and any of this interests you, definitely DM me because we'd love to get you involved. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Madison. And also, super good point to be made there that there will be a lot of cross-pollination that you can expect from all of the residencies as well. Like they are conducting their own programming. They have very dedicated deep work slots and workshops and such. But also, we're facilitating this environment in Patagonia where there will be a lot of serendipity that is built into sort of the scaffolding of the overall experience. And so if you're somebody who feels like you're connecting with maybe two residencies, or even more so than that, maybe a few of them, there'll be potential for you to bring all of those environments together to create something really beautiful at the intersection of all of them. We'd love for you to own that if you're a participant. With that being said, can chat a little bit about the Cypherpunk Utopia residency. Steve, can see that you're here with us, so if you'd love to share some things.
Awesome, thank you very much. Hi everybody, my name is Steve Phillips, and I am a cypherpunk and privacy activist, privacy hacker. I've been building end-to-end encrypted systems since 2012 or so, gave a DEF CON talk in 2015, started a hackerspace back in 2010, and won a few international awards along the way, really using technology to help people. I care about that a lot. And so now I am the lead organizer for Cypherpunk Utopia, which is a 3-week residency that is the latter 3 weeks of the Edge Patagonia event. We're really focused on privacy, of course, but also anonymity and censorship resistance. A lot of the work that I've done since 2012 has been inspired by WikiLeaks and people who kind of put themselves, people who are very bold at trying to hold bad actors accountable. And so if you're a builder, if you care about making the world a better place, and if you want to be part of a building heavy and like education heavy, workshop heavy workshop or a residency, then cypherpunkutopia.com is where you can learn more.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like for me, even if I can add like a little personal note to this call, I spent many years doing disarmament and peace building work in conflict affected areas. And one of the main things that was a big critique for me of the way in which we were doing that work was that there was very little consideration from like a data privacy standpoint, from a surveillance standpoint. And I think that this is sort of the residency where you can go and learn not just about that, but about a whole bunch of other things that are within that same ecosystem. Because there's a lot of really important considerations when it comes to building technology that's actually for people and that benefits people. And yeah, I think Steve is the ideal person to be hosting it. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, really
excellent notes. Thank you. And I just wanted to add that we will also be we'll be having some remote calls from the kinds of people you're talking about, so that we're not just building kind of in a vacuum, but we are, hearing from the kinds of people who need what we're building the most. And we're also going to be like beta testing each other's software, giving each other feedback, helping each other's projects level up, both newer projects and more mature projects. So yes, if you want to accelerate your world-changing cypherpunk project, Cypherpunk Utopia, or you can DM me on Twitter. Thank you very much.
Incredible. All right. Regen House. Do you guys want to share some things about the stuff that you've been planning?
Hey. Okay, I'm Changuito. I'm from Argentina. Sorry for my English. Sometimes we are trying to do my best every day. Okay, our vision creating this crazy thing that we are building all together is trying to create a new model of incentivize of with the hands with regeneration. we are convinced that we have to design new model of societies, new model of way of lives. So we are in a line with Regen Coordination and RefiDAO, and I am the co-founder of Next State, and we are creating this Regen House, offering a lot of activities in the nice place La Fontaine, which is like a place, a house for 25 people with a river in the backyard. We will be organizing local asados, organizing activities with local organizations in the San Martín de los Andes, and other surprises. Little story. I'm from the center of Argentina, and when I get some burnout like 4 years ago, I went to the south with my van, my girlfriend, and my dog, and the nature of Villa Langostura, which is just at the outside of San Martín de los Andes, which is in the same valley. The nature was so helpful to me to connect with myself. I take a lot of time meditating in front of the lake, sharing with the local people, and the whole thing that I learned outside of the big nature over there. It's like we are nothing outside of the big mountains or big lakes. So it's so important for us to understand this respect with the nature, no? That this is all that I learned over there. So it was really nice, and I wanted to share with you to start connecting with these feelings in the Regen House, and with the Edge City in general in Argentina, and the values of San Martín de los Andes. We have a lot of available place. So everybody who wants to come, we have our door opens. You can talk me by them. So okay, this is the Regen House narrative. Franz, I don't know if you
Sí,
want to add something.
sí, estoy acá. Gracias, Changuito. Hola a todos. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here, checking like we are all like as I'm feeling right now in line on the idea of we need to help build a new world. So it's beautiful to see so many perspectives and ways on or diversity, let's say, on the same direction. So first of all, I'm also from the center of Argentina. I was born here in Cordoba. And in line with Changuito, I also had very powerful experiences there in Patagonia, either in the area that we are going to meet, in Tierra del Fuego, or in the Atlantic area of Patagonia, because it's a huge region with a lot of bioregions inside of it. And we're going to be in the Andean bioregion of Patagonia, which is one of the most beautiful in the world. So glad that we are gonna create this space with that city, with all the people that's coming from different parts of the world to try to start building solutions. I think all of us here represent different approaches and organizations that are all in line with this ethos of, okay, we need we came to Earth to create something new, and I think it's a marvelous environment that we're gonna have around. Actually, in my own experience in Patagonia, basically, I would say one feels something sacred and divine happening there, just in the bioregion, and that's part of the proposal of the Regen Hub. Actually, we had the first Regen Hub experience in Ipe City in Florianopolis, another magical island here in South America, in the area of Brazil. And there is where, with Agroforest DAO also, and different friends from Regeneration, we understood the importance of connecting with nature, with go planting seeds, living trees in that place. And in understanding that, I think the biggest challenge that we are understanding right now, and we are seeing here in Argentina, being in the global south, is how do we really bridge all these beautiful technologies and solutions with the local impact. And that's one of the main challenges that we're going to be working the whole month in the Regen Hub. how do we connect everything that we are envisioning, seeing this solarpunk, cypherpunk, this is beautiful, with the people living there in the territory, and leave something that when we leave that month, we know that something will be like a good seed will be planted there. And I think that's the main spirit of the Regen Hub right now. And as Changuito said, we have 25 places there actually, in a beautiful place in La Fontaine. And the whole idea for us will be like, how do we live every day as, like, how do we normally live, you know? Like we wake up, we have our morning before 10, we would like to be inside our inner world, like meditation, going to the river, some cold plunge there. And after 10, like start thinking, like getting into the world and thinking, how do we put our energy, our talent on creating solutions, actual real solutions, and then sharing with everyone. I think really these pop-up cities are processes that are amazing. I see them actually as like the technology is the mycelium, and the pop-up cities are the fungus that are like arousing in different places, and that we can use this natural, technological, and psychedelia to start changing the world into the new paradigm. So glad to be here. Thank you to everyone, and everyone invited to the Regen Hub.
Amazing. It's magnificent. And yeah, I think one of the, maybe like quick suggestions that I'd make to people who are planning to come to Edge is to also read a lot about the history of San Martín de los Andes, because it's the kind of place that has always been a gathering point for people who are thinking about the future, particularly for indigenous groups who are in the area. It's always been a gathering spot. And so being able to kind of put what we're doing into context of that as well. And Regen Haus will do an incredible job at and also informing you about it and kind of placing you within that that like realm of the local wisdom and their rituals, which is super valuable and incredibly important, regardless of which residency you end up being a part of. But yeah, I think we have a couple residencies left, which I'd love to give the floor to. Denisa, I would love to give you the floor to tell us about the Health and Bio residency.
Sure. Hello, everyone. So I'm Denisa. I do longevity biotech and venture capital, and I've been in the pop-up city environment for quite a bit. So I think that I am on to organizing something really cool for all of you who are interested in biohacking, longevity, and biotech. So I'm here representing the Health and Bio residency alongside Rich Lee, who is a biohacker with more than 15 years of self-experimentation. He's done really all sorts of crazy interventions that you can think of. So we designed this residency mostly for biohackers of all levels, and really, I wanted to think of biohacking in multiple, as a spectrum on multiple levels. So whether you're interested in longevity as a lifestyle, and you want to try anything out from mild interventions to extremes, we're going to bring stuff down for you to try and to help you design health protocols. We got you covered with some longevity routines, biohacking workshops. We're planning some N-of-1 trials with diets and interventions. And my favorite part is really doing functional aging tests to kind of try different things under myself and see how my aging pace is going. But my favorites still are going to be the community events on themes like cryopreservation, organ transplants for longevity, all the hot stuff right now on the longevity market. Our residency mainly offers events and shared meals. So it's mainly a place to get people going in biohacking, biotech work. It's going to be the whole month, and it's free for those who get their Edge City ticket through us. You can also join us if you want to see what biotech is about and in research especially. I taught aging biology classes for a few weeks in Prospera in Honduras. And I'm basically going to bring the summer school that we did there back here again, coupled with some wet lab experiments, because we're trying to put together a mini wet lab in here. And yeah, as the biohacking traditions go, I think if I had to highlight one thing that I'm super excited about, and that which is actually the way that Rich, my residency co-founder, and I have met, is taser knife fights that I'm super excited to teach people how to do. And yeah, we got a bunch of other funky events planned out, so just come explore and have fun with your buddy.
Wait, that's so cool. I need to be there for that. All right. Super cool. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Hunter, we sent you a speaker invite if you want to share a little bit about Oz City.
Thank you all for having me. I'm here in Ollie's stead. Ollie's the creator of the Oz City. She's preparing for a speaking engagement at the Network State Conference. So yeah, just wanted to share a little bit about the Oz City with you all. So at the Oz City, we're focused on fostering an environment for builders at the intersection of AI and Web3. We had our V1 cohort of the Oz City and Con ahead of DEF CON, and it was a super excellent event. We saw a lot of cross-disciplinary collaboration. People ship projects utilizing cross-chain signatures, near intents, and building on NearStack. While we were there, a couple of people found their co-founders for new startups at the Oz City, which was really, really cool. At this edition of the Oz City, we'll have a focused cohort of builders working on self-sovereign storage, verified credentials, and on data governance structures, basically working together to build the sovereign stack. I would say we're a group of people who think sovereignty is important. We're building together for a world where we maintain self-determination and autonomy over our digital identities, especially when that world includes something like powerful AI. I would say we're really excited about the unconference style nature of the event and to see what collaborations arise between people. And we're a group of builders that are kind of tired of seeing folks in the Web3 space reinvent the wheel. And we invite you to join us in building the sovereign tech stack together.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Hunter. Let's see, are there any other residencies that have not gotten a chance to speak yet? I'm just barging in here speaking without permission, but I think the main speaker dropped, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just re-invited her. I think she dropped indeed. But this was a really awesome collection of leads for Patagonia. And thank you all so much for sharing your story and what your residency is about. I think we might be good at calling it quits. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them on the Twitter thread that we have going on here. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your stories. And I'm really excited to see you all in Patagonia soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.